How's it going, everyone? Well, first of all, I have to apologise. I know it's been a while since I've done a video, but I've been incredibly busy doing bits and bobs for other people and trying to sort my workshop out a little bit so I can move around more. So a little bit of noise in the background, heater, I'm afraid. It's not very warm out here at the moment, but to be honest, it doesn't matter. I'm super excited. I've managed to get hold of one of the first TRX4m in the UK from the guys at Model World at Sittingbourne. So if anybody's after one, then please get in touch with them. I ordered this yesterday afternoon when they arrived in their warehouse, and it arrived maybe a couple of hours ago. So fantastic service, really appreciative of the guys there, so thank you very much. So without further ado, let's get into the box and see what we're looking at. I know it's been eagerly awaited. I think it's already been delayed at least once. Not quite sure why, but it's probably down to a manufacturing issue. I really should probably wait for Christmas for this, but seeing as I bought it for myself, hell, let's open it now. Oh look, first little sneak peek there. Wowzers, look at that. So, excuse me moving around a little bit. It's got huge boxes here, so not sure what that is, but I suspect it's a little gift from the guys at Model World. Open this box. Oh wow, look at that. We've got some extra, bit more bump in there, and oh look at that, super bubble wrap. So let's get the box out of the way. First of all, so here it is. First of all, let's have a look in the extra bump that they've sent. So this is probably boring stuff, like my receipt. Yeah, my receipt. What's that? Oh, that's something else that I ordered. Superb. Anyway, I've got that. That's another thing I wanted. So what have we got here? Can you see it? I'll tell you what, I'm just going to move around a little bit so you can see it better. Here we go. So it's going to be a little bit of me reaching in. You'll have to excuse that, I'm afraid. Can't really be avoided. But there we go. So I've chosen the Defender. I am an all-out Land Rover fanatic. I drive a Land Rover. I've built several from the ground up. I've owned a few, and I mean, really, what could look any better than that in a model, to be fair. So that's the front cover. So scale and trail crawler, 18th scale from Traxxas, absolutely superb company. I used to be not anti-Traxxas, but in the early days wasn't a big fan, and then I owned one, and then I was completely converted. The quality of the plastic and the materials that they use, in my opinion, is far superior to most of the other brands. I've got models that I've absolutely put through hell, and very seldom does anything go wrong with them. Electrics are not the best, but I am looking at changing out the electrics on this with quite a few other things as well. Again, those of you that follow my channel know that I'm quite into making my own stuff, which is not going to be any different with this, and this is why I'm so pleased to be one of the first people in the UK to have this model. So let's go to the first side. So nice view of it there. Gives you some of your specs. So you've got a Titan 180/80 7-turn motor, includes a 750 milliamp 2S LiPo battery, which is brilliant because obviously it's an RTR ready to run. Heavy duty micro steering servo, that will be one thing that I will switch out, but I'll wait until I mean, I'm making an assumption that it will fail, but it may well be okay. Steel frame rails like on the bigger version, which is brilliant because, you know, for me, when I come to modify it, it gives me something decent to fix to. Oil-filled GTM shocks. Electronic control module. Now this has been designed for this model. It's obviously smaller in size than you would expect in the full-size Traxxas. And again, you know, I'll probably keep it on there until anything should happen to it, just in case. So clipless body mount system is a great idea. I know a few of the model makers have been using it now. Yeah, I mean, there's not much more to say about that. Makes it easier out on the trails, takes seconds to change out batteries. I'm looking forward to seeing how long the battery lasts in this, actually. And the Great Canyon trail tyres. Again, lots of people slate them tyres. I've found them absolutely brilliant. In fact, I would go as far as to say, out of the box, they're probably one of the best RTR tyres that you can get. Give them 2 or 3 runs out, they soften right up. Good thick tread. Seems to work all round for me. So yeah, got nothing to complain about there. So let's go around to the back of the box. Very similar to the front, with the exception it's got the blue on it. Looks quite nice in the blue as well. Not wouldn't be my first choice of colour, but still looks quite nice. So here we are on the last side. Gives you a little bit of spec on it. Actual size. So I mean, I haven't got particularly big hands, but you know, it's a reasonable size. 18th scale TRX4m, ready to drive Land Rover Defender body. TQ 2-channel 2.4 gig radio system. Includes LiPo battery and charger. Electronic control module 2.5. Titan 180 87 turn motor. Quality tool set. I'll be the judge of that. And a quick start guide. What you'll need to get going is literally just 4 AA alkaline batteries for your transmitter. And it gives you the addresses to contact there. Now, lucky for me, this is a skill level 1 to get going. Any higher than that, and I think I'd really be struggling with that. But I think these are going to be a great addition to the Traxxas arsenal. I'm certainly looking forward to getting out on the trails myself. In fact, it's going to be out this weekend. Right, so let's actually get inside the box. Oh, break the seal. You can almost hear it oozing with joy as it comes out of the box. Look at this. Is it going to come out? Is it going to come out in one go? Hopefully that's a decent shot. Oh, do you know what? I love new tools and new toys. Look at that. Let's just move the box out of the way. The cardboard bin at home is going to be absolutely rammed. So what are we looking at here? We've got the great TQ transmitters. Very simple but perfect for what we need here. 750 milliamp hour 2S LiPo. It's got the Traxxas LiPo charger, which is USB, which is quite handy because I've got the socket outlets in my workshop have all got USB ports on them as well. And the model itself, oh, look at it all nicely wrapped. Look at that. Do you know what? It's actually a bit smaller than I thought it was going to be, which is even better. I was hoping that it was going to be a small. The small model market is getting very popular. You can make your courses at home. You can, you know, have trails at work, etc. And this is definitely a great addition to that. So here's our transmitter. You're going to need the 4 batteries for that, which we said about. The LiPo battery, nicely boxed. Special USB charger, and then the model itself. There we go. And actually, now I've got the green, and now I've seen it in the flesh, I'm actually pretty pleased with that. I do have visions of changing the body in the future for something a bit more custom, but for now, I think that looks pretty cool, don't you? Right, give me a minute. I'm just going to get this battery on charge. So hopefully you can zoom in on the charger there. It's quite smart. So we've got two LEDs in here. We've got a red and a green. So solid red means it's ready. Solid red with a flashing green means it's very low. Flashing red and green means it's full, and flashing red on its own means there's a fault with the battery. So that's pretty straightforward. Well, here we go, the unravelling. Oh, that's one of those sounds that you either love or hate, isn't it? Literally wrapped around everything. Just to, I'm sure they do it on purpose, just to make it harder for you to unwrap. And there we go. Wow, that looks awesome. The suspension is going to be brilliant. Again, I'm blown away by this, to be fair. It certainly looks and feels a lot better. The plastic, I'd say the plastic is not far off the thickness of what it is on the big ones, which is brilliant, because that means it's going to be nice and tough. So look underneath, hopefully you can see that. So you've got full link front and rear, so plenty of flex in the suspension. Oh, I'm really liking this. Those canyons look brilliant as well. I think even with a different set of wheels I'd probably keep those canyons on there. Do you know what, I don't even want to take it out and get it scratched, but I've got to. So one of the first things I want to do is make some better links and steering links, because they look a bit rubbish. Can certainly do a lot better than that. So there we go, I'll give it a quick spin round. Oh, look at the light shining off it. You've got the roof rack like you got on the other one. Got the hair of a Chinaman there. Look at that. You can see the quick release. So just literally reach under, unclip the lid, and then we've got the model itself. Let's give it that. Do you know what, this really is a miniature version of a big one. So if anyone's a fan of that one, then you literally are getting the same thing but in a smaller scale. So nice suspension. You can actually feel that they're oil filled as well, which is nice. Wiring's nice and tidy. There's not much of it under there, which is great. That should tighten 180 motor. So one of the first things I'll be looking at changing is maybe getting it over to a brushless system. So if anyone comments below on what brushless system you're going to be looking at going for, because I'm sure it's going to be one of the more popular upgrades. Even nice little details like, you know, like a rubber strap on the battery. Just little things like that, you know, they make all the difference, really do. So that's that electronic module. We've got our setting button on there, usual LED, got a plug-in for the battery. You've got a spare slot for lights as well. It's got lights front and rear, but I'm sure there's a light upgrade kit that you can put on the body itself. So let's give that battery 10 minutes to have a bit of a charge, and then we'll have a bit of a drive around on the worktop with it. Yeah. Nice little shocks. Really impressed. Okay, so we've got a little bit of charge in the battery, probably enough for us to test it out. So here it is, 750 milliamp hour, 20C, 7.4 volt, so they should be pretty straightforward to get alternative batteries for, shall we say. I'm going to cut that tag off because that is going to get on my wick. There we go. It's got a special 3-pin, surprisingly enough, Traxxas plug, but we won't worry about that. So really easy, straight into the battery slot. Guess I'm right in the way of anybody seeing anything, but I think we all know how to put a battery in. So that rubber strap's on there. Flick our transmitter on, and this is pretty much exactly the same as most other Traxxas transmitters, with the exception obviously it's only a 2-channel. So model's on. I think it's probably going to need binding. That was easy. Wow. So we've got our steering. I won't put the body on yet because you might see it better, but so it's quite quick. Servo's mounted on the axle, which is quite good. Gives it obviously lots of flex. It does move about a bit in there, so I don't know if I'll be able to play with the, maybe tighten it up a little bit. It's more sort of at the ends of the steering. There we go. So what's it like slow-mo? So you've got steering trim on the transmitter. There we go. Right, so speed control you've got. So you can't go straight from forwards to backwards, which is annoying. You've got to give it a blip and then do it again. But again, I'm looking at changing the electrics out on this, so I'm not too bothered. It's a turning circle, right? Tell you what, it's really quiet. I love that. I love it, it's quiet. I bet it's got no grease in it either. So that'd be one thing I'll be doing before I go out in anger. Body wise, I mean, it's a little bit back heavy, but it has got the accessories on the back, which nice little addition, so can't complain about that. How easy is it to put the body on? How easy was that? Even I could do it. Wow. Let's see if we can see what our suspension flex is like. Just we can push it out of the way. No. That's actually really nice control from a standard model. I'm not surprised at that. Normally they're quite jumpy, aren't they? So yeah, I'll quite happily hit the trail straight away with that, you know. So flex wise, so I'd say you've got a good nearly 50mm there, I reckon, of travel before the back wheel's coming off, which again, very, very good indeed. Quite impressed by that. It's actually got a really nice movement to it. It's almost sort of real Land Rover like, with you know, a little bit of a, we'll say it's like driving a boat. Let's see if I can set up a little ramp. There we go, that's better. Right, so hopefully you can see that's about 25 degrees. So, small amount of throttle. And that's holding no problem. Oh, that reverse is really annoying. Okay, so let's ramp it up a little bit. Let's go up to 30, shall we? There we go. It's close enough. Close enough. Let's give it another go. Bearing in mind, brand new tyres. And it's holding again. 30 degrees. That's holding fine. Even in reverse. Little bit of roll on it. There we go. Okay, so we're still at 30 degrees. So we'll just give it a little bit of a go. See what we can do flex wise. We all like to see those tyres up in the arches, don't we? So again, I'm really pleased. The slow control on it is surprising. Oh, look. Bit of tyre tuck. Look at that. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, I even got a bit of wheel lift there. Did you see that? Sad, isn't it? But we all love it. So there we go. Thanks again to Model World Sittingbourne. I look forward to seeing you guys out on the trails.